Welcome back. It's been a year since Israel launched Operation Protective Edge on Gaza, which the authorities said was to put an end to cross-border rocket fire by Hamas. It was the third war between Israel and Palestine in 6 years, and it lasted 50 days. Now, these before and after images show the scale of the devastation caused by Israel's bombardment. You can see buildings left in piles of rubble. The conflict was the deadliest and most destructive between the two. It left thousands dead and injured and many more homeless. On the first anniversary of the conflict, RT's Lizzie Phelan looks at how, 1 year on, people in Gaza are still struggling to rebuild their lives.
The airstrikes may have ended, but the recovery is still painful. Markets like this one, which typically would be bustling and crowded with people during this festive period, buying food and treats, getting ready to break their fast at sunset, are relatively empty this year. Even dates, which are a staple of that breaking of the fast meal, are proving hard to sell this year.
كان الوضع أحسن من الوضع الآن، لأنه الناس من بعد الأجواء الحرب يعني شوية هيك الأمور.
Even going to pray this year has become harder as Israel's missiles also targeted mosques like this one. Added to that, Israel's 8-year siege and the closure of tunnels by Egypt, which were a crucial lifeline for basic goods, including reconstruction materials into Gaza, has meant that little of what was destroyed has been rebuilt, including Gaza's mosques.
This is the worst humanitarian condition ever Gaza witnessed. 1 year after the war, still the rubbles in the streets. This is the rubbles of thousands of Gaza houses. Tens of thousands of Gaza families who are living Ramadan days under the rubbles of their houses. This is not Gaza that we know well.
I'm in the east of the Gaza Strip. The Israeli border is just a stone's throw away, and during their offensive, they sent bulldozers into this area, which demolished many homes, like this one, which housed a family of 7 who have been made homeless and are now forced to live in a tiny container just over here to my left and spend Ramadan in there in sweltering heat. But locals say that from time to time, Israel continues to fire missiles over the border, and so even though they've already lost their homes, they are still in fear of losing their lives.
The
Israeli military destroyed our homes with airstrikes and then bulldozed entire neighborhoods. People were promised that their homes would be rebuilt, but that never happened. We can't rebuild ourselves because the war left us with nothing.
You can see just how bad conditions are here. Here there's rows and rows of containers housing hundreds of people from this area who've been made homeless by those bombs and bulldozers from the war last year. Here, Semuanya is preparing the family meal for iftar, the breaking of the fast tonight, and she's forced to find any bits and pieces for cooking fuel, including here cardboard and wood that comes from the floor of the temporary home in the container.
والله يعني لو كنت لو في خيمة هناك عنا وضل بيتي إني مبسوطة، أما هنا والله ما أنا مبسوطة لأني بتذكر بيتي، بتذكر كيف كنت طب أنا في الحلم نايم، بتذكر إني كنت.
Next, there's potato panic in Canada.
It's found in a potato. Ottawa police are warning consumers to be careful.
A number of cases of sewing needles being found in potatoes have now been reported, and it's got both consumers and farmers extremely worried. In fact, a reward of $400,000 has been offered for any information leading to an arrest.
The reward is actually being offered by the potato industry itself and not the police. But of course, we're the ones that will investigate any tips that come in from the public. There has been 4 provinces of Canada where the potatoes were found. We believe that they were all part of the 2014 potato growth, harvesting and processing. And some of the potatoes from that season are still in warehouses.
But political analyst Richard Spencer believes that these days people are just too quick to whip up hysteria.
This is not a widespread global plague that people should be concerned about. biting into a nail in a potato is about as likely as getting struck by lightning while winning the lottery. I think there might be a kind of hysteria that's involved with this. And I think that it's much more important that we start questioning the presence of glyphosate in our food that's used in Roundup, that's used by basically every farmer. These are bigger, more complicated issues that I think we should start thinking about.
Now, a daredevil wingsuiter from Italy has gained a huge online following over his bid to pull off the truly remarkable by flying right through a tiny hole in a rock.
Forse sia cosa sarà 2 metri e mezzo, 2 metri 60, 70, non so.
With only 2 metres separating him from the rock face, Uli Emanuel puts his life on the line for a chance to pull off what is a truly daring stunt as he makes a risky leap into the unknown. Despite the adrenaline-filled achievement, the base jumper is seen coolly chatting to local wildlife once he has his feet back on terra firma. Emmanuel discovered the location 3 years ago. He told RT how his dream to carry out the stunt became reality.
The last 4 years and a half, I was living in Switzerland and I was a dishwasher in a restaurant. That is not my work, but I was there just to have the chance to jump every day after the work. I was washing dish in a restaurant at the top of the mountain, and I was living in the valley, and then I was able to jump every day and fly home. My boss was super cool. When I say him, okay, sorry boss, I quit here my job, I go and I just try to jump and I will travel all the world. He say me, Uli, you're afraid, go. If you need to come back, just call me.
Up next here on RT, the President of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, appears on our interview show, Sofco.